Welcome back, you beautiful soul. I didn't realize this series would be so popular. Each video within the first 24 hours had over 300 views. So, normally I would be doing a like goal for this, but a lot of you have sent me messages on Discord about it. A couple of you have talked in depth about like the backstory and everything. So yeah, I'm going to record video on this. I put that poll out. 73% of you wanted this video first, and 27% of you wanted the cheat sheet. So there is some wanting of that series. After this week, though, I'm going to go back to my normal video uploads. This one's going to probably come into rotation as one of the 2 weekly what ifs that I do. I'm going to try a certain upload schedule where I have a handful of what ifs where like every other week and like 1 week out of the month will be dedicated to newer what ifs, and then then I'll have like 2 regular what ifs that I'll do one or more videos a week on said what if. But I wanted to get a couple more videos of the Halloween specials out, and by far the what if Deku gained in Klyntar is the most popular out of the 3. That's not saying the other 2 will not have regular uploads. It's just they're not going to be regular uploads. They'll be like once a month uploads, because 1 week out of the 3 weeks will be dedicated to like every day. I plan on like doing like a different series, unless one is like super popular where like within the first 24 hours it gets like 300 likes and like 1,000 views. So that being said, let's where we last left our first story, Izuku and Bakugo had somewhat of a fight. Izuku, Ochako, and Ida, all 3 of them like split their ways. They exchanged information and everything, and they will talk with each other like the closer it gets to like UA, especially when they get their acceptance letters and everything. So I would say it takes about a week, 2 weeks for like Izuku to get his letter, and he calls up both Ida and Ochako, and they are all in like a 3-way conference call, and they like Izuku's like, so did you guys get in? And Ida says, yeah. Well, I got in, and Ochako's like, yeah, I got in too. I even got into 1A. And Ida's like, that means that we'll be classmates then. And Izuku like starts to laugh, and they both like ask him, like, what? Well, it looks like all 3 of us are going to be in the same class. Well, in any case, it was nice talking to you guys. Mom wants to like take me out to dinner, and wants to take me out to dinner and everything to like a special restaurant. I should get going. Otaku, don't forget, you should be working on that. And Ida, it was great talking to you, and also thanks about that. And after Izuku hangs up, like Ochako asks, he's like, what was that about, like that? And Ida says, well, he found out who my brother was, and I got his autograph for him. The guy's like hero fanatic. And Ochaka is like, what, your brother? Wait, Ida. And Ida's like, yeah, my brother's in Genium. I didn't plan on telling people, so please don't talk about it at school or anybody. And Ochaka is like, oh, I get that. I totally get that. That's your business. Well, I'll see you at school next week then. As like Ochaka hangs up, and Nino's just sitting there thinking, he's like, huh. And he's thinking, dang, like he really is like a true hero. He wasn't even thinking about the test. Because because Ida had stuck around after the testing to actually speak with Izuku, they developed a friendship, and Ida would have asked him how did you know there was rescue points. So we're going to do a little flashback to when Izuku opened up his envelope. And the little disc shows up, and it's a video recording of All Might. And All Might goes, Young Midoriya, you and your quirk, you did an amazing job in the entrance exam. You scored 20 points higher than the record of UA. Kinda chuckling. And that's me, young man. So, that being said, and he went over that he only had 57, he only had 60 points, villain points. But Izuku also had 84 rescue points and it went over, it showed the few times that he stopped a few robots from hurting other students. And then it showed a clip of him rescuing Ochako. Or Raka. And then said, because of all this, young man, even if you didn't have any villain points, the fact that you risked your own life to save another, no hero school would deny such a promising hero. Welcome to UA, Izuku Midoriya. Basically, All Might said, I can officially say this, kind of thing. So that's how the phone call. So at dinner, Izuku, Izuku's dad, is there, and he's surprised. But as soon as, Izuku's dad gets near them, both Izuku and Toxin just feel something weird. And Toxin can't metaphorically put his finger on it, and neither can Izuku. But, they are happy. Toxin's happy because Izuku's happy because, their minds are kind of one. Because they are a perfect, perfected symbiosis has happened. And, so they just push that uneasiness off. And so, the night progresses. Hisashi is saying, I can't believe, he's extremely happy that his son made it into UA. And so, when they get home, Izuku goes up to, his room, and, he's just laying in bed, and him and Toxin have a conversation about what they have planned to, what they should be doing when they're, their first day. Should they show, their full size, and all this other stuff. Just giddy, because Izuku not only has been talking to a girl, but he's already made friends, and he already has 2 friends that he knows he's going to have in his class. So Izuku is really happy. Now we cut down to the living room, and Inko is staring at Hasashi, just kind of giving that look, and Hasashi says, he asks us, like, did you tell him? And Inko says, no. Why would I tell him? Especially after, but it seems like the thing changed. And like Ingo begins to cry, but then Hasashi kind of like walks over to her and like grabs her and is like, I'm sorry I'm making you lie to our son, but we've got to be careful on how we deal with this, because bad things can happen. As like Hasashi's voice slightly changes. Well, in any case, dear, till Izuku I said bye. I still have work in the States that I have to do. So Hasashi, he leaves, and he even leaves a letter for Izuku. And he tells, like, Inko's, like, this is for Izuku's eyes only. She'd help him out with this little situation. And Hasashi leaves. Now, some of you will be able to guess what's going on, but yeah, that's for that little bit is for a little bit of the future. One of you has already figured out what has happened, and this one basically is confirming it for said viewer. So the weekend passes. Izuku is getting ready for class, is like getting ready to like leave, and Inko's like crying. She's taking photos. She even says tells Toxin to come out and get in the photo himself, and she takes like a group photo, and then she hands Izuku a bag, and Izuku's like, what is this? And Izuku opens up, and you just hear Toxin go, steak. Thank you, mother. The bento will be delicious at school today. And she's like, yeah, Izuku, take care. And Toxin, again, keep my boy safe. So they make their way to the train station, and they see Katsuki. And Katsuki and Izuku meet eyes. Katsuki just says, damn nerd. And like just shoves past Izuku. And so they get to the school, and he's sitting in the back. Ida comes in and he runs up to Izuku, and then he sees Katsuki, and that whole thing with them happening, like where they begin to argue. And before Ochako comes in, Izuku just says, damn it, Kachan, just put your dang feet down. And Ida's like, just... Katsuki, he may seem like a jerk, but he's definitely a hero. He's not a villain. He's crass. Just... we didn't come from a good neighborhood. Just let it be, and... Kachan, please, just stop causing a scene. Whatever, nerd, as he, like, takes his feet off, like, the table. And then Ochako comes in and runs up to Izuku, and she's like, Izuku, you're... like, because they know they're going, like, the three of them knew they were going to be in the same class, and when Izuku found out Katsuki was going to be in his class, he was upset by that. The whole thing with Aizawa happens, where they do the quirk assessment will happen, and in this, Izuku and Toxin do not show off. Like, they actually barely score anything except in one category. And because Toxin's is thinking, he's like, if he wants to expel someone, Izuku, if someone's going to get expelled, we should try to be last place. Because if we get expelled, it's not that big of a deal. But the rest of these weaklings, they really do need this goal. Me and you, with me to guide you, you will definitely become a great hero, even if you don't go to UA. But you wanted to be here. Though I doubt if you come in last place in all the categories besides one, you'll get expelled. So, as during the ball throw, he tells Aizawa, like, he basically turns to Aizawa while transforming into, like, his full-sized, like, his full-size hero mode, and then his body, then the body morphs even more. It gets bigger, electricity is, like, pulsating, and as, like, the liquid begins to, like, expunge, and it looks like it's boiling and popping and tearing, like, he goes into, like, his full Klyntar mode, basically infusing it with One For All. And Aizawa is just standing there, and then you just hear, any of you, those that don't want to get hurt, you might want to step away 100 yards. And you just see Ida, Katsuki, and Ochako, and a few of the other people that saw, like, what Izuku did just kind of move back. And everyone is just looking at Katsuki, and he just says, damn idiots. It hurts for me to say this crap. That nerd's about to go all out, and if you don't want to get hurt, you might want to step back. I hate the guy, but shit. Because during that week, him and Izuku did have a fight. They had their end of season, like, their season 2 fight thing happen. Like, Izuku and him have been able to bury some of that hatchet. Katsuki, like, says, you've been hiding this from me, and Izuku says, no, Kachan. Last 3 months, I worked my ass off. I even broke my bones several times, but thanks to my quirks, I healed a lot faster. It took a while. I had to work my ass off even before that, before my quirks even came in. I know what the one thought that was in my back of my mind the whole time? I wanted to get stronger than you. I wanted to be stronger than you. I wanted to outdo you. I wanted to finally show you that I wasn't useless. And this kind of put Katsuki back, and it made him think about and reflect on why he was actually bullying Izuku. Like, they're not friends, by far. They're not friends. They're not friends yet, but now they have the setup to become friends in the future, and they've fought. They've hurt each other they've hurt each other. Izuku finally, like, actually getting over Katsuki. And a couple of times he did create explosions. It was able to, like, actually do some damage. And later, Toxic explains that he does have some fire immunity after the fight. He does have some fire immunity, and Sonic's would still screw with, like, his ability to perform. Though it would be like Izuku will suffer, like, a headache during this, so it could hamper his ability. So he should try to avoid certain harmonics. So Izuku, like, Aizawa tells everyone to back up, and he turns to Izuku and he's like, are you sure about this? During the exam, you hurt your hand by fighting all the robots. And from my understanding, when you use like your other quirk, you can completely destroy your body. Izuku and Toxin kind of turn their head and they tell, "It's fine, Teach. I've got this." As Izuku cocks back his hand, then like everyone can just feel like like the pressure in the air is palpable. And as Izuku like throws the ball, he goes like in his mind, him and Toxin scream out, "Full kill, 100% smash!" And right when they throw it, it's like a classical scene. Like a crater is formed where they are from the sheer pressure. The ball gets flying, and then because of the sheer force, begins to unravel and then completely like disintegrates after about 2,000 kilometers. Aizawa was standing there looking at this, and then he looks at the two and he asks them, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't expel you right here on the spot. This basically proves that you weren't even taking this serious." Izuku then turns to the Invisible Girl and also Mineta. And then he turns to Aizawa, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Sensei, but those two over there, by my calculations, one of them would be expelled if I would have went all out. Isn't it the job of like a hero to inspire the others? Our job here is to learn how to be a hero. Hell, their quirks weren't really suited for this type of testing. Her, the Invisible One, she could be an amazing reconnaissance hero. And him, with his quirk, he'd become an amazing capture hero. Isn't that why we're here? To learn how to use our quirks to the best of their abilities? Me, I didn't come into my quirks until like about 4 months ago. I worked my ass off to get here. And if you want to tell me that I don't belong here at UA, then UA doesn't deserve me." As Izuku then just shuts up and begins to like walk away from the group. Aizawa is just staring at Izuku, like looking at him. "Damn blonde-headed fool. He was right. Kid's smarter than what he looks. This year's going to be interesting. Well, you two heard him. If I don't see any improvement by the end of the semester, you two are gone. And that goes for the rest of you." And everyone's just like, "Holy shit." And Izuku, he gets his syllabus, and then on his way out, he's stopped by Aizawa, and he's like, "You're lucky, kid, I like you. And you're right. I really would have expelled one of you. But it would have been that Mineta kid. I didn't see too much promise. But the kid that did the best in the entrance exam, if you say that about them, I'm going to leave it to you. You're going to have to make sure that they do better. But if they don't improve by the end of the semester, they're gone." And Izuku just turns to him. "I'm sorry, Sensei, for blowing up about that. It just pissed me off what you were doing in the exam. It's why I didn't go all out in the entrance exam. I saw some people didn't have quirks suited for that, and I wanted to at least let them have a chance of even getting in. In any case, I promise I won't ever do that again." As like Izuku bows, basically hitting his head on the ground, creating a crater, and Aizawa was just thinking, it's like, damn, This kid really is going to be something. It's fine. Get home safe. See you tomorrow. So, when he gets home, Inko's asking him and everything, and he says, it went great. I saw my friends that I met at the entrance exam, and well, surprisingly, Kachan didn't pick on me again today. I think it has to do with the when we got into it last week, Mom. Sorry about that. Ingo says, it's fine, sweetie. I don't like the fact that you got into a fight with him. And I've already talked to Mitsuki about it, and she assures me that she had a long conversation with Katsuki about what he's been doing too. And then she says, so how was the lunch? And Saxon says, thank you, Mother. The Wagyu sticks were amazing. Though I think I may have scared a few people eating them. Inko kind of laughs, and so Izuku, like they're sitting on the couch and everything, and Izuku kind of fell asleep. Excuse me. Inko like talks and then like comes out and he's like, Inko, what the hell's going on with this boy's father? Something's weird about him. And Inko gets a little scared and Toxin notices this. And she's like, Toxin, about that, you're not the first one of your kind I've seen. I've seen one before. And, well, it's not my place. I have this letter, and the person who gave it to me told me when I feel like you two are ready, like, to give it to you. Toxin's like, okay then. Should it be something I have to worry about? Here's Toxin being a lot smarter than someone else. No, like, of course, internally he's freaking out. He's like, crap, I thought I got rid of all of them. This planet was supposed to have been purged. I'm lucky I survived. Only because... fuck, damn Parker. In any case, I should trust her. She's kept my secret. And she's been accepting. She's also been feeding me really good food. Oh well, more memories to keep from Izuku. As the day ends. So I wanted to stop this right here. I know I kind of went over this a little fast, but I wanted to get to the heroes versus villain in this episode and then do the USJ attack the next time. So, however much time from the first day to when they do the hero versus villain, Izuku is like nervous and everything like in canon happens to where All Might comes in his thing, and internally Izuku and Toxin begin to laugh, and Toxin's like, that's the suit he was wearing when I first met him. He looked, now that I think about it, that thing looks ridiculous. And Izuku laughs like internally and it's like, yeah, you're right about that, but we should pay attention. And Toxin's like, that only applies to you. I'm aware of everything. I can have a conversation with you in here and with someone outside. Also, I can keep track of stuff around us. I am tied to your senses. Right, Izuku? And Izuku's like, yeah, Talks in that says, I could give this to you, but you said you wanted to do things and work on things yourself, so I will only interfere when I feel that there's danger. So the teams are not, they take their draws, and Izuku is thinking, he's like, oh my god, I'm on the team with her. Even Toxin's kind of like joking with him on his head. It's like, so we got the cutie on our team. This should be fun. And then the team, like, it's announced, like the teams are going to be identical. Like the teams aren't going to change. So you have Izuku, Midoriya, Ochako, Raka, heroes, against whatever their team was, Katsuki, Bakugo, and Tenya Ida, villains. And Toxin in his head says, dang, it would have been a lot more fun to be the villain, because there's less things we have to do. Izuku's like, Toxin, I thought you wanted to be a hero. Oh, I do, but it's Bakugo. I have to get him back for that little injury I sustained. About that, we should ask that Todoroki kid why he doesn't use his flames. He's Endeavor's son, after all. And then Izuku's like, wait, what? And he's like, his last name's Todoroki. And the only Todorokis that I know of, is Endeavor and his ilk. At least from all your memories, you should have been able to put two and two together. Like his wife, if you don't remember, had that ice quirk. And the fact that he has, it seems like he may have like both their quirks. He's one of the toughest people in this class. Possibly one of 3 people that could take us down, no questions asked, if we ever went wild. Good thing we're not against him, or that Yagorozu girl. Her quirk's creation, right? She could probably create a sonic gun that could incapacitate the both of us. And also, obviously, there's that Jiro girl. Her quirk's very interesting. Combined with Yagorozu, those two could be able to take us down, no problems at all. And obviously, Bakugo can harm us, but he wouldn't be able to outright beat us. So let's get going, shall we, with the hottie? And Izuku, like, blushes at this, and Uraka's like, Izuku, what's wrong? And Izuku's like, nothing, Ochako. Me and my quirk, we came up with a plan. So, what we're going to do, instead of coming in through the ground, we're actually going to infiltrate from the sky. But I don't think I will be able to, I don't think I can float us up there. As, like, the black liquid begins to form around, like, expunge all over Izuku's body. You just hear Toxin's voice. I've got to send that, Ochako Uraraka. Grab on. As they begin to jump, jump and climb up the side of the building, he drops her off and he tells her, You go in from here. I'll get their attention downstairs. It's going to be fun going up against Katsuki again. You, waiting for my signal. If you find it, let me know through the earpiece. Here, take this too. And she's like, what is this? And Izuku says, it's a stun gun. It should help you out if you ever get caught. If you ever get in a close situation. Should give you a chance to use your quirk on them. And since this is registered as part of my gear,
I'm letting you use this. Don't worry, it shouldn't hurt them too much.
As Izuku jumps off the side of the building, bursts in, making a bunch of noise. And just like he thought, Katsuki would come for him. You just hear explosions coming down the hallway, and you hear, "You damn nerd! I'm not gonna lose to you this time!" And then you just hear,
"Oh yeah, Kachan. Bring it. I still have to get you back for hurting my side. That explosion really hurt, you know."
So they get into it, just like in canon, they cause some damage. And unlike in canon, Izuku doesn't collapse part of the building. What he does is he's able to get behind Katsuki at that last instant and then basically karate chop him. And as he's leading Katsuki out, he's like,
"Damn it, Concord. You really got me this time. If it wasn't for my increased durability, you would have had me with that last shot. But for now, sleep."
As he ties up Katsuki, and then he bursts through the ground, surprising Ida. Ida goes for Izuku, and they can hear Izuku panting every single time. Ida gets a hit on Izuku. You just hear Izuku going, and everyone's thinking, it's like, what the hell? I thought he was tougher than that. And then a few of them pipe up, yeah, but the fight between him and Bakugo, that was insane. Not only were they seriously hurting each other, Sensei, why didn't you stop them? Well, I noticed that they weren't doing a lot of damage to the building, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah, but Izuku, he coughed up blood, so did Katsuki. Yes, I was going to stop that, but as you saw, young Izuku was able to end it without too much more injury. I'm fairly certain the young man has a broken rib. And they're like, you mean Bakugo? And they're like, no, Midoriya. He probably has a broken rib. That's probably why he was coughing up blood. And all of them are just amazed at this. Not only did he go toe-to-toe with one of the strongest kids in the class, but he also is potentially fighting through that pain of having a broken rib. And they're like, oh. And then all of a sudden, you just, Ida and Izuku here, right as Ida's coming down with, a cross kick, and Izuku coming up to block it with, something that he hasn't really been able to do, but he, out of the corner of his eye, he notices it, and then basically folds his arm into going for, to go in with an elbow, because what he just saw, he would have killed Ida if that would have collided. So afterward, they just hear, "Hero team wins! Bomb capture succeeded!" As Ida turns around to see Ochaku just standing there smiling with her hand on the bomb. So that goes on. Afterwards, everyone's talking, and they say, "So who got the MVP?" And everyone's just like, "Sensei, wouldn't it be more prudent to get Izuku checked out?" And this is when they see it. Tatsun's head comes out.
"A broken rib's nothing for us. It's nothing for my Izuku. It'll be healed up before the end of the day. Don't worry. Don't worry your pretty little heads about it."
Everyone's freaked out at this, and this brings up even more questions. Yeah, the tests progress, everything happens in canon, who wins, who loses. And when Shoto does his thing, Izuku's like, "Whoa, you were right, Toxin."
Of course I was right. Shoto Todoroki, son of Endeavor. Enji Todoroki, if I'm not mistaken. His wife has an ice quirk. And he got here on recommendation, so I kinda figured he was most likely related to that guy. This all but confirms it for me. Like I said, be careful with him, Izuku. If we ever have to get into a real fight with him, he might be able to take us down. The only reason why Katsuki got us at good times is you said don't destroy the building. You were holding me back.
And Izuku's like, "And you know damn well why." In the fight with Ida, what was that? And Toxin says,
"Oh, my apologies. Between the broken rib and wincing in pain, I almost lost control there for a moment. But realized that's why it was morphed into a sledgehammer. Sorry about that."
"That brings up another thing. Why can't I do that?" And Toxin's like,
"Well, you haven't learned how to control your symbiote abilities perfectly. I've been keeping them back so you don't accidentally kill someone. Don't worry, it won't happen with me. Well, unless your life is in danger, that is. I won't hold back then, and you won't be able to stop me, Deku. Or you won't be able to stop me, Izuku. If your life is in danger, I will protect you at all cost."
So, as the day progresses, he has a few conversations with Ida. And he has the conversation with Ida and Ochako at lunch. And they're sitting there eating, and then all of a sudden, someone else comes and sits down, and they just look at this kid. They're like, what are you doing?"
Everyone, there's nowhere else to sit. I wouldn't sit next to this damn nerd if I had another choice. Plus, Izuku, that damn kick at the last moment. What was that? You shouldn't have been able to move like that. It's because of that damn thing.
Izuku like smiles and goes, "Yeah, Gachon, I've been meaning to talk to you. I'm truly sorry I didn't tell you that a quirk came in, but like I said before, the only thought in my head was surpassing you. I still haven't done it. Okay? The fight earlier today, it could have gone either way. It's just lucky for me, you kind of left yourself open." And Izuku was like, "It really knocked the wind out of me. And my rib's still a little hurt." And this is when Gosh is like, "Please don't tell Aunt Ingo. Last week when we got into a fight, a couple weeks ago when we got into a fight, my mom gave me a freaking earful. I just wanted to apologize, Deku. Sorry about everything. Don't worry. I won't let you surpass me that easily." And Mizuki begins to laugh as Katsuki finishes up his food and leaves. Ida and Ochako just are staring at Izuki. And Izuki's like, "What?" And it's like, "I never thought that Bakugo kid would say something like that." And Izuku just smiles and he's like, "See, I told you he wasn't a bad guy. He can be kind of an asshole sometimes, but he'll kill me for saying this, but he's actually a really good guy."
Yes, I hated him, but Izuku, whatever.
Obviously, he didn't say this out loud, but he was telling Izuku in his head this. So they finish up, and alarms start to go off as they're leaving. Izuku, in Canon, gets pushed up against the thing, and he sees that it's just news reporters. They found out that All Might was a teacher there. They had been doing a few things because and a lot of people have this remember this wrong, but the reporter invasion did happen before the USJ attack. And many of you can blame me for it, but that's how it happened, because they used that to test the school's security system and to also infiltrate to get the information about the USJ. So you guys can piss me off. The anime did something different. I'm totally going in the manga. I know in the manga that's why that happened. So Izuku's like, damn it. He talks just like, damn it, Izuku. I can't do anything. Wait a minute. Ida, get his attention. And he's like, Ida, it's just reporters. If I use my quirk, I can hurt someone right now. And Ida finds on Chaco, and he's like, oh, Chaco, now. Your quirk, make me weightless. And just like in canon, he does the whole sign thing, and he's able to calm everyone down. And then they get back to class, and Izuku raises his hand, and he goes, Sensei, can I say something before class, before we continue? So Izuku goes up to the front of the class, and he basically goes into his slender form, where it's just the light salute overwards. And he says, many of you may have voted for me to be class president to lead because of my quirk and everything. Well, I'm not the best to be class president. I don't have complete control over my quirk. Sometimes it can go out of haywire. I was a late bloomer, as many of you have heard rumors, and a few of you already know this, but I didn't come into my quirk until last year, and I'm too focused on learning how to control that, and also with schoolwork, I won't have time to actually do the duties of class president. And honestly, I think Tenya Ida, he should be our class president. He has a good head on his shoulders, and he's the best fit for it in my book. Which shocks everyone. And they're like, okay. And everyone's like... So the whole thing about Ida becoming president, he thanks everyone, and he says, I'll do my best to serve you guys. So all of that being said, I'm going to stop this part here because the next episode is going to cover the USJ, and I want that to be its own episode in of itself. So in this, Izuku, he's made it a point that people, he says that if people, and he's even told his class this, is I'm not going to save you. He talked to Mineta and the Invisible Girl. I'm not going to save your asses again. If you want to be here, work your ass off, because... And those two know he was a late bloomer, and it shocked them, and they're like, wow, he's that strong, and he's only had his quirk for a year, which motivated them. They have shown significant improvement combined to their canon counterparts, but that's neither here nor there, and it's not really going to show too much until the next episode. So that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what you think so far of the series. Also, sorry if this part wasn't as good as the previous two, but there really wouldn't be much that would change from canon until now. And I kind of wanted to do a couple of conversations and stuff that didn't happen canon in this, and kind of go over Katsuki and Izuku's relationship a bit. So that being said, I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.